Wouldn't happen on my watch.
Oh, gee, okay. So it's like that? What are the coasters at?
I lost all of them.
What do you mean?
I don't know where they are. How does that happen
Unless they got jacked.
in a time like this? And then who buys coasters in the economic crisis? Do you want this?
Oh yeah, that is
We
right.
are in an economic crisis as well.
Nobody got
I look like
time
I'm
for
thirsty.
coasters. They call me Nate 3 drinks.
Hey, threes, eh? Wait, what episode
What's
is
this series? This thing.
I don't know. I just found them at like there's this thing that happens on Platt Fields, which is like a rummage sale. Everyone just sells shit. And I haggled this lady down for £1 for the 3 of them. It's all about like American history, but I just bought them so I can scan the imagery in and then maybe do something with them, like put type on the top or colour them. The images inside are so cool, and there's some like heinous stories in there as well.
Yeah, I can imagine American history.
Yeah,
filled with blood.
it's wild. But she sold me them for £1, and then her husband came back over and was like, "How
Why?
much?" Like he was having like a hushed conversation with her, like, "How much did you just sell this for?"
really?
And she was like, £1. But she said it like, £1. And he was like, "Yeah, don't sell stuff when I'm not here." And I was like, "Do do 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 do."
See you later, mate.
Yeah. I feel like they
So
could be
don't
doing
need the
something.
receipt.
I know. See ya.
Alright,
Yeah.
I just really like the way they're titled, so I can tell this is the first, that's the second. Is that the third?
I have no idea.
Because you've not read them.
No, I just use them for the
makes
pictures,
sense.
like an infant. Yeah.
They do look dope.
Because it will be the pioneers, then the trailblazers that set the
Because
way.
you would understand this. Yeah, you were always like,
Historian.
brown and gold. Nice book.
I know the timeline.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
But yeah, we ready?
Yeah.
Yeah, and we are recording. Welcome to episode 38 of WAWNRT Recording This. What was that?
The last minute checks.
But yeah, today we're joined by Cakes. Cakes the Vibe. Cakes the Vibe. What's going on,
What are you
man?
saying, my bro?
Man, good to see you. It's been
I
a hot minute, man.
Man.
Love.
Okay,
But no, yeah.
Ours was so much lamer than yours.
No, it's because also like I bumped into Cakes at some point. I think I was on my Christmas tree, and I was drunk. I was sloppy.
I forgot that's the last time I seen you.
Yeah, so it was just before Christmas.
Damn.
Yeah.
He was
And I-
so drunk shouting down the tram, I couldn't believe it. I'd never seen that side of him. I even told you, lad, I said, Nate, he was so waved. He was shouting down the train. And it was like, what the heck? But you must have been so drunk.
Yeah, I was really drunk. And
Because I've never seen you like that. Man.
no, you've never. But that's the thing, though. I thought I'd do something different on that day because I also got public transport, and then
Is this a big day for you? This is a day of newness for you.
No.
yes, and I got
The train? The train itself, you saying he was shouting on the train?
Yeah?
Huh?
No,
He was
but it wasn't derogatory or anything like that. It was actually just like spreading love, I guess.
Yeah. There was
to be
so
fair-
many
Yeah, that's
N-words flying. And all the people on the tram were like, wow. But they were so happy.
Yeah, oh, they're so happy. They looked in awe. Like,
Yeah, like, wow. Have you guys lost sight of each other in Africa somewhere or something like that? Like, damn, this is a grand reunion. It was like,
yeah, so yeah, that was nice.
the love
man.
was all over
yeah,
the place,
man. Like,
man. You
it
know
was
how
so
goes,
dope.
man. Every time, man. Every time.
Yeah. Sorry. You know what? Yeah, you know what? Yes, we've already started. But yeah, like, I
And
mean.
the last time, that's okay, yeah?
Oh, yeah. So
first
that's
and
your
last.
story.
Sorry, this just feels like it's in the wrong place. Okay, cool.
That's your
yeah,
story.
Yeah. I spied you walking around this venue wearing Slan merch. And I was like, who the fuck is that? Who is that? And I like went through the list of everyone that I know is a member of Slan. I was like, it's not any of them. Yeah.
And then you pulled up to me and you said to me, you remember Stan? But now I realize I was deaf that time, so I was losing my hearing anyways. And you said so, and I said, what did you say? And you said, where'd you get the top from? I was like,
Like
what?
accusation.
Yeah, I was like, what do you mean?
That's limited.
Yeah, I was
It
like,
started off very much like, who are you? What
yeah,
you
yeah,
mean?
it was sort of like
Like, who are you? No,
Like,
who
what are you wearing?
That's like the rush hour.
That's how I
scene.
felt like. Oh, yeah. That's how I felt like. I'm like, who are you? Who, me?
Yeah, no, who are you?
Who the hell are you?
I was like, crazy,
That's
man.
nice to say that because
Yeah.
I think I was running like a playful play with pens
Yeah, I
on
was
a
with my
big. We were
daughter that
making
day.
so we were making like big banners. And And so me and Becky were running this workshop where it was like just pick up pens and draw. Like I spoke to so many kids that day that I was like, kids are amazing.
Yeah,
kids are absolutely amazing.
My daughter really enjoyed it.
Yeah. She just sat there and just drew
Just
some
drew.
pens.
It's like time flew for her. I even went out and a small came back.
Yeah. I feel
still
like all the
there.
parents did that. They were like, they're in safe hands.
Yeah, it was
See ya.
sweet. Yeah, it was literally
Yeah, we opened up a
sweet.
little daycare that day. It was really nice.
But now, man, like, I guess before we begin, how are you, man? Like, how you been? It's a new year, and I swear you're a Capricorn as well.
Yeah, man, come on.
So it's been Capricorn season. So yeah,
man.
we've been tucked in.
Smiling.
Sorry.
I started the year really good, man. It was my birthday on the 2nd, innit? So I always have the shittest birthdays because obviously you
Everyone
think
is
about
hanging.
bought Christmas presents, you
Everyone's
know,
hanging and
forget
broke.
about my birthday. So my birthdays are always crap. So this year when I got paid, I said, let me take my daughter out. So we decided to go roller skating and stuff like that.
Nice.
Yeah. And I've never done it before. I think I embarrassed my kid, but I was falling every time.
Did you have fun though?
I did, man. I was sore the next morning. The thing is,
Did you fall?
You
bro,
fell.
I fell so many times, bro. That's why I said I was embarrassed with my kid. She ended up leaving me. She was like, Dad, every lap just lapping me. And I was like, whoa. And all the people, you know, when people try to help you there, come on, you can do it, mate. You can do it. Yeah, I don't want to do it no more. And I started sweating. I had to take my jumper off. And the thing is, when I
In the middle of
fall,
winter.
in the middle, and I'm not falling like going like, boom, I'm going, every time because I was screaming. I thought, oh, that is embarrassing.
Yeah.
It was really good, man. It was a good experience. Started off the year, I wanted to change a few things. I was telling you earlier, I'm on TikTok. So everyone's been telling me to go on TikTok. So yeah, just starting new things. The key thing is I found out I was deaf before. Last time I saw you, right? I didn't tell you I was deaf.
Don't think so.
We
When
went,
did you find that out? Like, what is that story?
it was in October. So
Of like just October just
October
gone?
just gone, yeah. So I just went to the GP actually. I just kicked off at my GP and I was like, I'm not hearing right, and I think I got tinnitus. So basically, I know now because since October is like, it's been, when did I become deaf? So that was been my biggest question, and I started going through a lot of my beats, and I realized the rubbish music started in, like, it was in 2022.
Wait, who's? Yeah.
I know you guys think my music is good, but trust me, man. In 2022, I got a job right in Sleaford. Have you ever been to Sleaford?
No, I was going to ask you where
It's in
Sleaford.
Lincoln. You know where Lincoln is? East Anglia.
Okay.
So it's like it's near
Vaguely.
Lindisfarne. If you know the history of the Vikings, Lindisfarne is a very important place because they had loads of monasteries there. Right, let me say it like this, you know. It's where Cecil John Rhodes was born. Don't know who Cecil John Rhodes is?
Don't
You
look
know
at
who
me.
Cecil
Don't
John
look at
Rhodes?
me. Just stick
The
with
guy
me.
who created Rhodesia, the De Beer Mines, all of that. It was Cecil
Oh,
John
okay.
Rhodes, right? So there's a
Wow,
guy
everything
who...
you said then made me more confused. You know, like I was like, he's gonna say something and I'm gonna get it. Oh,
No,
I'm gonna have to do my research.
Zimbabwe was called
Rhodesia
Rhodesia.
before it was.
Right.
Yeah,
Right,
and
right,
Malawi
right,
was called
right.
Rhodesia, and it was called Rhodesia after Cecil John Rhodes. And he was like a colonizer who came to Africa, wanted to take the whole of Africa for himself.
Right.
But the queen was like, nah, you can't have it all. So she only gave him Zimbabwe. and so
I called
Crazy
him.
conversation.
Like,
isn't it?
imagine you don't.
It's a crazy
It's a
conversation.
crazy conversation.
Got
So
triggered
like,
for
she was
a
like,
second.
nah, you can't have it. So when they drew it, they gave him Zimbabwe and Malawi, and he built that train track that I was telling
Yes,
you about.
the
when I
one
said
that runs all
goes
the
from
way
Cape to
through. Yeah.
Cairo. That's what he was trying to build. So his story is crazy. Like, Google this guy because I don't want to go down that path because actually I find out more and more stuff about this guy, and it's like, wow, man. Because it's like, this side I like doing podcasts. Sorry, because I say some crazy stuff, right?
This is the
Yeah,
point
no,
of the, like. This is the point of them. I
Yeah.
just say, especially
Yeah,
with
speak your
us, like
mind.
we're
Why
very
not?
open with.
I mean, it's why we're not recording.
Well, we're
this,
not
so it's
recording
like-
it, I know.
We're just documenting conversations.
As long as you're not
so-
trying to offend anyone. And
I'm not.
Exactly.
But I want you to understand something, right? Through history, all the houses that existed, whether it's House Wessex, it's House Plantagenet, it's House Tudor, whatever house we know, it dies out. Genghis Khan house, there's a new house, or the
Families
last.
split up and things like that.
Always happens. But there's only one house that has lasted the test of time, and it's the Rothschilds house, the Rothschilds family. And to understand Cecil John Rhodes, he came to British Parliament to petition the British government to say, I want to take this country in Southern Africa. It's got gold mines. He wanted South Africa initially.
Rich and
the diamonds and all of that.
everything,
So he was like, I need the money. Like, give me the money and I'll go take this country. And I promise you, I'll put it under this is why they let him have Rhodesia in the first place. That's why it was not a British protectorate, like Swaziland, Lesotho, and all the other ones in Botswana. So he said, I want the money, and the British government laughed at him and said, we're not giving you nothing. And again, they didn't trust him because he was very ambitious. Like, if you read his diaries, he's a crazy guy. He was
He's so ambitious that you just
like
so
you want to
crazy.
take the whole of Africa. You want to build a railway line from South Africa to Egypt. That's what he wanted to do. So he was really ambitious. So they didn't trust him. Can't remember which party was in government at that time. So they refused. He petitioned the monarch, Queen Victoria, and she refused as well. And then when he walked out of Parliament that day, he says in his diary, he pulled out a cigarette, like Che Guevara, myself, asthmatics, but we smoke. So he pulled out a cigarette and to have a smoke, because I think he had too much stress. He's travelled all the way from South Africa to come here to ask for money, and they've said no. And who's come over? I think it was David or George Rothschild, who was based here. And he's gone to him, I heard your petition. I heard what you want. How much do you need? And he said £1 million pounds. At that time, £1 million is equivalent to like
$1 billion.
You can't even
A good number. £100 billion. How many zeros?
It's like million. Like, you crazy? That's how much she gave him, and that's how you have what we call the Rhodes Scholarship, the Rhodes Foundation, and all these things.
All these Rhodes things. Yeah, there's quite a lot of them.
A lot of them universities and stuff like that. They all came from that, and he died without children. You know, I'll talk about his religious beliefs, because we hate him in Zimbabwe because where he was buried at our holy site. You know, you have Jerusalem as a holy site. So he chose to be buried in the Kalanga holy site, where we ask for rain, where the stones talk. And it's called Njelele because he realized how much power that place had.
How rich it is.
Yeah, and he just said, bury me here on top of the kings. So they buried him there.
Okay.
But again, another interesting thing, just for you to Google, he became the Freemason Grand Master of Africa. And in Bulawayo, we've got because I'm from Bulawayo in Zimbabwe, there's a massive white building, we call it the White House. And it's not the White Hall. And it's been there for years, and it's really white. It's all as white. Everything else, it gets darker. That one is all as white. And he became the Grand Master there, which means he must have sort of got into Freemasonry when he was in Africa. And then you then talk to Nigerians, they tell you about Star Jameson, because he destroyed Nigeria on these tribal grounds. That's why they're still fighting today. He then joined Cecil John Rhodes, and then they took Africa. So from a spiritual, cultural side, a lot of Zimbabweans have a grievance with him because he buried himself at our holy site. And he
Just like your final act was like, whatever anyone else wants to say about anything else, your final act being that is the final act of like, as you're going down, it's kind of like,
Exactly. So, and to think you bury somebody there who killed so many of our people, you know, he brutally killed people to take that country. So, and that's why he needed £1 million. So where I crashed my car, and I have this thing about myself, crazy things happen in specific places that have something to do with history. Yeah, and it's all as historical, and it's usually, because I'm from Africa, it's colonial history. So it's the perspective. They came from here, or
so no, it makes sense.
So I worked in a care home, and I had a really crazy experience there. But where I worked is where Robert Moffat was born, the whole plantation. But as I was walking past, my hairs were going up, and I was like, was this a slave plantation? There was horses and stuff, and it's hidden near the canals. And then I seen a placard like put down and made of stone, and it looked exactly like a placard that we see in my country. And then I was like, this looks like Bulawayo. I took a video on my Instagram, and I was like, this. And then when I looked, it says this is where Robert Moffat was born. And I actually went and knocked in the house. An Asian guy who's married to a mixed guy who's married to an Asian lady lives there now. He said he bought the house for like 600 grand, and a white family had historically lived there, and usually people come there to visit. So he wasn't surprised when he see me knocking on the door.
Well, he didn't know.
He didn't know, you understand. So I crashed my car where Cecil John Rhodes was born, which is in Sleaford. And I had a really bad car crash. I fell in a river and I was unconscious for ages. I woke up and it was just cold, but the car was like filling up with water.
No way.
Oh, it was some crazy.
When did this happen? When did that happen?
2022, September.
Yeah.
Oh
So
my
now I've put the dates on it because it took
Yeah.
me 3 months to discover
Yeah.
when did I go deaf, when did I start losing my hearing. You know what I mean? So 2022, so September, I crashed the car and I lost my speech for a week, which means I must have lost my hearing as well.
Yeah.
So I didn't know. So when I came back, when I produced my first album, Pushing Piano Properly, that album, it was my team, UKianos, they were fighting me like, why are you taking so long? Because when I came back, I started ruining it because I couldn't hear
Oh,
right.
your hearing
so
was
everything was off. So I
Yeah.
started ruining
In your head,
it.
it sounds.
Yeah,
it
it's like,
sounds
I need to add a little bit more fire.
Yeah.
And then in the morning when I wake up, it sounds so bad. And I'm like, what did I do last night?
Yeah.
I'm like, what? It was driving me insane. And then they were like, just release the album, just release the album. Then I just dropped it. And when I released it, there were songs where I had muted some instruments. I didn't realize.
Oh,
and
really?
it was like, that album, I love it because it was my first album. I put so much into it, but I hated the mixing side, how it sounded. And it's because I crashed my car in September. I released the album in December.
Oh, yeah,
Do you
that's 3
understand?
months,
3
not
months,
enough time for
knowing. And I'm
recovery.
ruining it. I'm
Yeah.
even
You think
ruining
you're
the music.
fine-tuning
And
it,
everyone's
but
going, no, release it. It was fine. Yolanda,
Yeah, it
you
was
said,
done.
bro, the song is dope. What are you? And I'm like, no, you guys are not hearing what I'm hearing. And it was just like-
Literally, yeah.
it was crazy. Imagine like you lose your hearing, you start hearing everything completely different.
Yeah,
So
because
it's like,
certain notes sound a lot different.
Lot
So,
different.
oh, actually, no, let me just use this.
sometimes I'm playing a piano on it was weird, on a wooden instrument, and I think it sounds good, but it sounds horrible.
Yeah.
So basically what happened in my hearing, whatever I thought sounded good was bad,
actually-
and whatever sounded bad
Was
actually good.
Because you probably
that's a
heard
whole trick.
like things that maybe felt more muted to
Exactly.
you. Were actually really
Yeah.
jarring to other people, and the jarring stuff maybe to you was like, that's a bit much, but
Yeah.
people needed that. It's
Exactly.
kind of the
Oh,
opposite.
let
of
me
what
just
people hear.
turn it up a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. It's like, imagine being a chef
was so
and losing your
frust-
taste buds.
Exactly.
That's what I'm saying.
how is it gonna
Exactly.
play?
That's a
This
perfect
tastes
analogy.
good.
Yeah, it's like, nah, let me just add more chili.
Yeah.
It's
It's a bit more. People go,
sweating around you.
Yeah.
You're like, yo, this is A1.
Exactly
Yo,
that.
that just don't
and
get
I'm
it.
like, you know what, you lot don't get my food, and you know, and then people are like, you gone mad, you, and it's like,
So, pardon me. I know
it's
I'm
a
laughing, but it
perfect
sounds.
analogy.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
what it was, and
Such
it
a
took me
trip.
years, and that's why I didn't release music. So for 2 years after my album, I sort of started releasing features because my guys in SA, I would play,
Oh,
and
it's
then
kind
they'll
of like a
mix and
second
master.
ear,
Yeah,
so they know
exactly.
function.
And then I got under pressure now. People are like, yo, you dropped an album, you was on BBC, you went to BBC, your music is playing everywhere. Where's the next album? I'm like, wait, I'm still working. And I bought a new laptop. I thought my laptop was not sounding right. I was about to buy a new sound
So you're
card.
looking externally for
Externally, but I
answers.
can't figure that I'm going deaf. She kept saying,
Yeah.
and I paid so many kids. I'll tell you now, 'cause I calculated 1.6 grand to mix and master my songs. And every time they brought them back, I
You'd be
thought
like,
they were having me on. And I was
Oh,
like,
you're like, no,
You lot.
you, like, you need to fix
like
that.
you lot didn't
That's not
take,
done,
like
yeah.
you're taking a piss ball. Like
Yeah.
I'm paying you and sending me shit like this, and it was just me. And the moment I realized I was definitely deaf was when T-Man Express came to my house. And we recorded, and he was like, after I finished recording, he kept saying to me, "Sounds good," and I was like, "Are you sure?" Because now I wasn't sure because I kept trying to tweak. He's like, "No, why are you tweaking? It sounds good," and he kept layering, and I'm like, "Yes, are you sure?"
you're
And I'm
thinking, yo,
like,
this
I'm
is-
like,
That's
I'm
when you're like, oh, I trust your palette.
because
So
he's
now I
an
know.
amazing
Yeah, he's a
artist, you know what I mean?
huge-
It's
yeah.
like having Beyonce in your house, and she's
Yeah.
going, "This is amazing." I'm going, "Are you sure?" And I'm like,
Yeah.
"Nah, this sounds bad. I need to tweak it." He's like, "No, don't touch it."
Yeah,
And
and
then-
you think you want to bring your best version.
best version, and he's like, "Nah, man, this is dope." I'm going, "You sound a bit off, like you're hitting notes off."
Yeah.
You know, and I just said, "Trust the process." So then when we finished that song, he wanted to do another song. So he was like, "I like this beat, just add this on."
Yeah.
And whatever, I couldn't hear nothing. And I just said to him, "I'll finish it when you go," because I was so much under pressure. I just couldn't hear
Yes.
nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
Like,
you're thinking this is not it.
this is not it, and he's telling me add stuff, and when I add it, it sounds bad to me. But he's going, yeah, that's the
So
one.
now
That's the
you're
one.
battling with like not just the music, but also your physical. Because now you're like, oh, something's wrong.
Something's wrong.
Yeah,
Fucked
yeah,
my
yeah.
mind
Something's
up.
wrong. So like, I need everyone to go because I need to just sit
Think.
with whatever the hell I've just
Yeah.
realized. It's like a sudden realization,
Yeah,
isn't it?
that's
I think
like
for the
a
sake
requirement.
of like people watching you now who don't know you.
Yeah.
I want to take it back a little bit and like just talk about you and music, because there's like you and history, and there's also you and music, and I feel like maybe the two intermingle with each other. Where did that come from? Were you a musical child?
So I started. I started spitting when I was 13. So I live in a place called High Wycombe. Again, history and going to. So the first place I landed in is where Buckinghamshire is. Yeah, so I was like, wow. And the place was full of castles.
Yeah.
So I was like, wow, it's on hills. It's all built on hills. And I thought the whole UK was like that when I first came from Africa. I'm like, there's people who walk up a hill just to get home from school.
Back in my day, I walked up.
We're walking around that on the hill. It's nice going to school. It's hard coming back from school.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So like, yeah, I grew up in High Wycombe, and we grew up under Tony Blair's label, so here comes my political side. Those were the good old days, you know, when you compare to now. And I'm not a massive fan, I don't even like Tony Blair, but that Britain was a nice Britain, because we had youth clubs, free education. It was really good. And most importantly, what I hold about that not that Labour government, that era that I grew up in, is that people didn't have to work so hard just to feed their families.
Yeah.
40 hours a week, you would have been rich during
Yeah,
that time.
yeah.
Most people were working 25 to 30 hours a week, and they spend time with their kids. Nowadays, nobody spends time with their kids, and we got kids that are just being raised by TikTok and so on and so forth.
Yeah.
It's not fair on the kids. So that's where my grievance is, and I really enjoy the time. So I grew up there, and we had a lot of youth clubs. If you ever remember the riots in London?
Which ones?
The first ones after the kid Mark Duggan was shot by the police. There was a lot of raiding, and a lot of young people were blowing up the police stations. It's because Skepta did a video. When you come off this, it's called Underdog Psychosis. I don't know if any of you ever seen it. It's like a 20-30 minute video he posted it. I'm sure it's still on YouTube, and he just spoke about, because his journey coming to the UK was exactly like mine. I realized, wow, we had the same journey. Very intelligent kids, but because our parents didn't allow the school to move us on a year above, because Nigeria and Zimbabwe, we study Cambridge. So whatever we study there, it's always 2 years or a year above here, because we study Cambridge. We don't do this GCSE. We feel like this is lower level English. So he had the same problem, and they didn't skip him on. Then he just started sitting around in class.
And it's like, I'm too good. This is light work.
Like, even me, it was the same thing. So I went through it. And then the biggest thing he said, when he was walking down the street, and old white women would cross the road, and you're getting a lift, people uncomfortable. You just didn't understand it as a young black kid getting stopped and searched. It was so degrading for me at one point, just walking with girls, or I'm walking with my white mates and I'm getting searched. It's horrible. So like, we grew up through all of that, and a lot of us, when they took the youth clubs away, sort of like they took all that we had.
It took something to do. So
your third space is gone, so now
gets carded.
There was nothing.
You got home and you got school, and if you're not even passionate at school as well, then like, what
else are you doing? And if you were not good at school, you go youth club, you go do taekwondo, where you learn self-discipline, you know, music, all of them are
you learn a life skill.
Yeah, exactly. So it was a good place to socialize, because we had elders around us who also became mentors to us. Like Errol Fenton, big up himself, he ended up being my manager, so he started taking me. I don't know why I got into music when I came. I just liked Ja Rule, and then 50 Cent dropped G-Unit, you know, the first album, like, what's this stuff? But there was a sound that was growing in London, and this is why I fell in love with Amapiano.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, like, the transition from that, because that's not necessarily your influence.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. But as a South African, it's like, you know what?
This is what we know.
And we like Kwaito, and it's like I thought it would have came from that angle rather than the hip hop side of things.
I always liked music as a kid, and I like old music because I had older people play music to me. So I listened to Cape Verde music, Cesaria Evora. I like music from across the world just because elders played it to me. But I never thought I would practice music. Now, when I think about it, all my uncles, because I come from a polygamous house of three wives, so everyone in that house, the older sibling, they all do music.
Okay.
The other one plays mascande, the other one plays rumba, and me, I do on my piano. So I realized, okay, this must have been a family thing. But the calling to music, for me at that time, is because I was just in the youth clubs. It was a way to socialize, and I started writing as a way to express because I was really frustrated. And I went through a lot of racial abuse when I came here because I went to a full-on Asian school, and like, you know, they were calling me names I didn't even know. At that time, they called me a coon, and I didn't even know what it was. I was like,
You're looking around like, who are we saying this to?
I didn't even know it was an insult. So I'm like, what's a coon? And they're all laughing. So, and I got like really like went through a lot. So I'll talk about racism another day. But yeah, so like, I found music as a way to express because this guy called Errol, who then became a manager, always said to me, just write. And then I started off writing poetry, writing my thoughts, and I started writing. But what really intrigued me was there was a new sound coming from London, which was grime. And like we were getting the little cassette tapes, you put it in a recorder, and just pop in. So like I fell in love with it because last time you saw me, I wasn't deaf. I just found out I had ADHD, right?
Yes,
so,
yes, that you told me about that one, yes.
So that was some crazy shit. But then I'm gonna say it because when I was a kid, I was so aggressive and so angry, and I didn't fit
and
in.
grime has that energy.
Grime had that energy for me, just that release. So whenever I got angry, I'd write all the stuff down and just spit it out. But then I think it stopped being a way of expression when I started getting into Tupac, who then became like, wow, this guy. I still like my grime, but this guy speaks sense, you know what I mean? And I think the only person who did music that spoke sense at that time was actually Skepta. This is before even JME came around. Then I got picked up by Wiley, and this is when I'm music with grime. Wiley picks me up with flow down, then like I worked, even till today, Wiley was talking. He got into my piano same time as me, so I was sending him like loads of music.
How did that happen? How did that cross the paths happen?
So I was saying about these youth clubs. So big artists, they would do like, say like, most of them are gone jail. So part of your community service, you go to a youth club.
Do something for the community, help the kids.
That's all it was. So I think it was one of them, Wiley and Floden pulled up, and they said everybody spit bars. But what separated me, by the way, from these kids was that I told you I wrote angry lyrics, which made all my mates love me because I was very creative with the pen.
Sounded hard.
Yeah, it sounded hard in it, and I was short like Tinter Strider because me and Tinter Strider were under Wiley's belt, both of us. So we were really, really short. So like every time they go, yo, this little kid is just like hard, and then I just sort of went off that because I listened to Tupac, and I was like, I started writing really like deep stuff on grime, which it set me apart from my peers in that generation. I don't want to lie, and that's why a lot of managers, I went loads of places, man. They just took me places just because I even recorded, I got vinyls in my house, we recorded like loads of stuff, like just because I was speaking a bit. Not just, I'm going to stab you, because that's what it was about. Stab your mom, take a sister outside, blah, blah, blah.
Like you took a minute to really think about like, angry at what?
Yeah, you know what I mean? So like I was really sort of like writing a lot of expressive stuff, my own story. And that's how I met Wiley. So Wiley let us all spit in the room, and I hit an 8-bar and they hyped me up. It was one of those gritty ones. Then I dropped another gritty one, then another gritty one, and then the beat changed. It was one of these sweet ones. So I dropped something conscious, and he just said, "You're coming with me." And from that time on, me and Wiley was always like that. Whether on MySpace, we just keep finding each other. So like for me, Wiley, when I growing up, I used to say Wiley's like my dad because he did that for me. He did it for Tinter Strider. He did it for Ice Kid. You know what I mean? Chipmunk, all of us, for Dizzy. He did it for all of us. You know what I mean? Dizzy Rascal, on the other hand, was just on another level. Yeah, there was no competition, so we let him leave the hood, and we just sort of looked up to him.
like flower.
Bro, like you don't belong here. Like you're crazy. So even Crazy Titch, if you know Crazy Titch, all us like me had me under. So I grew up with them because I lived in Wickham, which is right next to London. It's like on the border of London. So I'll get on the trains, go there, do some sets. You know, back in the days where you have clashes and stuff like that. Yeah, and that's where my journey with music became. Then I went to Milton Keynes.
That is an entry, you know, like that is an entry. Like that's wild.
Legendary.
Do you ever reflect on like? Do you ever kind of like reflect on that as like an entry point to music? Most people don't have that. because what you're talking about is this balance of like struggle and strife and self-awareness and a lot of education plus opportunities that a lot of people wouldn't have even seen as opportunities or wouldn't have even like bothered, because why am I doing that? It's basically homework you're asking me. Do you know what I mean? Do you ever kind of think about that as like, do you ever kind of congratulate yourself? Or do you ever kind of like, do you know what I mean? Do you ever do that? Do you ever look back and
because I have this thing that I've not achieved what I'm set out to achieve. So every one day when I do talk about it, it'd be one of those things like, why you went with Wiley? Because sometimes when I say it, people think I'm actually just lying, but it's like, I'm like, yeah, I did this, and it's like, oh really? But maybe it's because I've not got there. These were just.
But I hope you do that, and you do just take some time to realize that, like, we're not just being like, well, the camera's rolling, act surprised. We're not doing that. That's incredible. That's incredible. It's a testament to you, because it's like it wouldn't have just been like, oh, you sound good, come this way. It's like there's a lot in you that other people who are kind of at those points and been to those places that you want to be. They saw that from you when you were like young and it's character defining stuff.
Yeah. So that's how the music thing. But my mum kept moving, so we moved from Wickham. The first time I really seen Systematic, because before I started spitting, I used to listen to Linkin Park and skate. And bro, I was like Linkin Park, Blink-182, not even Coldplay.
To be fair, they dope. I was one of them.
It's so close to like hip hop and grime. It's like the white boys doing their own thing as well. It's like it's still frustrating.
So I still have that.
It was a dope speed
but it's just different beats and different sounds, but like the emotion
different
is like
BPM.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Just different. The emotion is the same.
Yeah.
So I was into that, and it's because if you know Liam Pinnock from Little Mix. The mixer girl from Little Mix.
Vaguely. I know there's a group.
Leanne
Liam
Pinnock.
was in Little Mix. Okay,
Leanne Pinnock. She's the mixer girl, because there's 3 white girls and then there's the mixer girl. She lived a street behind me. I fell in love. I was in love with her older sister, Sarah. I went out with her for a week and I told the whole school and she dumped me. Yeah, it was sad. She dumped me. And she said I shouldn't tell anybody we were dating, but I thought, wow, I'm dating Sarah Pinnock. I told everyone, and then her mates came and said, it's over. She said she's done. I didn't
do it too much now.
Yeah, I know. But she was my crush when I was growing up.
Back in the day, a week is like a year. I'm not being
every day in school. It's like, you're going on Sarah Pinnock.
You were almost married, you know what I mean? Like
it's almost marriage. Exactly. We're talking on MSN, it's deep.
Little nudges here and there. It's official.
Putting her name on my thing.
The status.
The little loves, you know, So I went out with her. So High Wycombe, I wrote in my book. I'm writing a book, so I wrote a chapter on High Wycombe because that was like it's a fountain of talent. The people that came from there. There's Madge RU One Fam. He came from there. He's doing songs with Bob Marley's kids. There's Christopher Wade, who played rugby and American football. He ended up being the first black guy to go play American football from rugby.
So
playing
it's
for England.
For a lot of.
Bro, it's like so many. You talk about Leanne Pinnock. She was dating my best friend, Nathaniel Diamond. So that's how I knew her. And then Sarah was living next. Like the people that came from there, it's amazing.
I've never considered High Wycombe to be like that at all. Like I've never considered
so
that.
many celebrities out there. I will tell you, I know him from High Wycombe because we were sort of like mingling. It was like a good melting pot for talent and different things. So like a lot of people came from there. So I was saying on the Leanne. So I listened to like skater music. I was a skater. I had a white girlfriend, Rebecca. I'll never forget her. That was the love of my life. She got me into the jeans, you know, like
She got me into the jeans.
you know what I mean, the jeans, bro. You had to go certain shops to find them jeans. You get me? Yeah, she got
criminal damage.
Yeah, criminal, and the fire signs all over there. You know, with the flames. Yeah, man, she got me into the jeans. So that was my girlfriend, and they forced my mum out that hood, and my mum didn't want to leave, and they forced us to leave there and threatened us with everything, homelessness, blah, blah, blah. Leanne Pinnock stayed there. Leanne Pinnock, she was cute. Her sister Sarah, oh man, because they were half Chinese, half mixed race. So we are Khoisan. So
yes, because
like,
the bloodline as well.
yeah,
Is
so like we've got people who look like that in my
Yeah.
country where I come from.
Yeah, like
my
very
people,
light
they
skin
look
as well,
light skin, but they
and
look
yeah, like, yeah.
Chinese. You know what I'm saying? So like I was like, and they stayed there. I think they were a little bit well off than us. We just come from Africa, and where they moved us to was the hood of the hoods of the hoods, and like.
Really?
I've never seen so much crime in my
Where'd you
life.
move to?
Milton's at the.
It was still in High Wycombe, but it's a
yeah.
place called
Oh, okay.
Micklefield, and it was like this when, because we were the only African family there. There was
was
no
the
white
demographic?
family there. There was an Asian woman who's married to a white guy. That was the most white. Oh yeah, there was a white family next door to us.
Yeah.
That was the only family there, and then the rest was just Jamaicans and St. Vincent and stuff like that. And the crime that was going on there, my mum couldn't, for an African woman just moving in, like they're smoking,
And
pissing
actually,
on the
African
door.
women are big into their respect.
But they were
Yeah.
calling my mum's words I would never
Oh,
repeat.
no.
You know what I mean? Like knives were coming out. That's when I became into crime. To say I became like a street kid because I just had to look after myself. But
Yeah.
like it was, they tried to drown my cousin there. It was so much stuff going on there. See people get chopped off, hands chopped off. It was like great. So my mum had to move, but then she moved me to Milton Keynes. So I lost my connections with the Wileys.
Right,
But then I
right.
met a guy who won X Factor. His name was Spencer or something like that. He had won Britain's Got Talent or something, and he now had a label. So he took me underneath them, and he was like, "Yo, you're hard," and like they put me on
The
there.
spaces you end up in,
Bro,
it's just like
it was-
how, like your
I know.
instincts are just.
Now they're
magnet
fighting with
to
my
it.
old crew because my old crew is going, nah, you're underneath us. How you going to,
Yeah.
you moved to ends, now you join. Even Tinch Strider didn't do that. Tinch Strider was still rough squad, even though he went to roll deep. So that was the argument because, like I said, I was speaking with Tinch Strider. Like
Yeah.
I did a few sets with him when I was younger where Crazy Titch and Wiley used to take us. So they were looking at it like that. Then my older said, nah, just go.
Yeah.
And if you pop, you'll bring us through. Do you know what I mean? So
Do what you gotta do. But,
I did a lot there. I became Milton Keynes youth chairperson at the age of 15, 16. And because I come from London background, so I built a youth club there. I started doing like shows there. And the moment the youth club was finished, my mum moved me again
Oh, man.
to some
Yeah.
countryside. And then, in Milton Keynes, I get there. I face a lot of racism from Somalis because they said I look like somebody that used to live there, and I don't know whether he killed somebody and ran back to Jamaica. I'm being for real.
Oh, shit,
and they were
yeah.
chasing me every time I see a Somali.
long.
I run.
That is
Bro,
long.
It was long.
So
bro.
I'm not him.
Bro, I'm not him, and that's what I got. I'm not him. One day I was in the cinema with my girl. We're going up the escalators. And I just see Somalis, and I was like, "Oh my god!"
Here we go.
And they just started running up the S. I had to tell her, "Babes, I'll call you." I ran for my life. Yeah, I had to run for my life. But we patterned that beef as time goes on because the older sort of met me, and I explained, "I'm not him." And every time you lot are just
I don't even know who
chasing
he
me,
is.
bro, trying to kill me. I don't know who he is. I don't know what happened. Sorry, I'm holding my. So I faced a lot of that. Then my mum moves me to a country place where no political party has ever won except BNP. And
When you said no political party, I was like, be Green Party. Or just
no,
something like
BNP, it was the most racist place I've ever been to in my life. From being called a nigger on my first day.
and then and then now it's like now
Bro,
you're
it's
depths
like,
of it.
wow, now I'm inside. So then that whole moving taught me a lot about that's my journey of dealing with racism and understanding different British societies because I was living in different cities, different demographics and learning but when I was living there, I was into the pubs now, you know what I mean? Pub life, gambling on a Saturday, come Mr. 40. I became a hooligan for a little
So
bit.
you learned to chameleon from like an early age.
Exactly.
It's almost like
Survival
through-
instinct,
Yeah,
really.
and that is honestly like that's kind of like a good skill to have. It's like you know how to act in certain spaces. Some people don't know how to act in certain spaces, so they come across super jarring or really offensive or just too soft. Or do you know what I mean? You kind of have this survival tactic about you, which is quite interesting.
You had to.
It's a hard way to learn.
Yeah.
It's a deep end way to
Survival,
learn.
yeah.
Yeah.
But she killed my music dreams, and that's where the music stops when I moved to there. Because if she watches this, I'm sure one day she'll. My mum always tries to watch stuff I do, but she promised me when we moved there, because I left the youth club and the studio and everything I worked for that 2 years.
Yeah.
Because I started at 15, so till I was 17, and I'm now going to a whole city and everything. And so she promised me the garage and said you can do the music there, and then she started fighting me over it. So I just sort of deaded the music thing, and then I come back to music again.
Yeah.
I'm on piano.
Yeah. So at what point did you start producing then, if the whole time you were sort of spitting?
All right, good question. It was when we moved to Rushden. That's when I became a producer, because I didn't know nobody. We're in the countryside, so then I download Fruity Loops, and I'm like, I like Wiley's beats, I like Skepta's beats.
Oh, so kind of make something that you can also spit over yourself.
Yeah, spit over. So that was the desire. And then now I started listening to deep house, and then I become experimental, start making deep house and making kwaito. I'm like, this stuff is dope. And that's my beginning journey of producing in that house. And there's a guy called Mark, man, if you ever see this, my brother, bring my computer back. Because I came in to fix it and I never went to go get it back. And he said he'll never sell it. Mark, if you see this, I'm in Manchester now, pal. Bring my computer back, please.
He's looking into the eye of the camera.
I'm being for real. I'm being for real. You never know who sees it, you know what I mean? Yeah, but bring my computer back, but I'll pay you whatever, because I lost everything there. And then I had to move to Stoke, Manchester, back to London, Kingston, stayed in Tottenham, and then went back to Kingston again. And then I came to live in Manchester fully. And moving to Manchester, I stayed 2-3 years. My dream, sorry Mancunians, I wanted to move on to Liverpool, because I really like Liverpool. I really like Liverpoolian Scousers. I like them people.
Yeah, me too.
So I'm really big on Liverpoolian. So I wanted to move there, and then I got my daughter, and she was born here. And then I named her Emmeline Nemaya Lesedi, Emmeline, because of Emmeline Pankhurst, for the women's voters' rights. So I had to stay here.
Yeah. Okay. So,
do you think that was like a blessing? Obviously not saying like do you think your daughter was a blessing, but the whole idea of like now you're kind of anchored into like a city when you wanted to move to Liverpool. Do you think you needed that to kind of just have your feet on the ground in one place for longer than what, a couple of years?
10 years now.
Yeah, is that the longest you've been in a space, in a place for?
Yeah, definitely. I've been here 12 years alone, so you're so right. You touched on something. I like this position because my people are nomadic. We're Khoisan. So we don't spend
always on the move.
That's why your mum's kind of like mental place was like nothing is permanent.
Yeah,
always find something else.
Moving, and then the child is the one that changes everything. Because I can't.
Now
go
gotta
so
assess
far.
the priorities.
Even though that's the thing of like that's kind of what you're saying culturally, that's what your people are known to do. Do you now in like right now living life? Would you think that's a good thing to do with your daughter as well? Or do you kind of is to be like moving around? Do you think it's good for kids to experience that?
Yes, because I travel the world a lot, so I realize you learn a lot when you move around. I understand the fabric of British culture. So when people protest and they say they want English rights, I really understand that. You know what I mean? I'm on their side. So yeah, man, your culture is gone here because your culture was like this and like this, and you've sort of lost it. The Scottish kept it, the Welsh kept it, the Irish kept it. But what's the English culture? We don't even have one. So when I watch historians like David Starkey when they talk about it, and I understand it because I've been all across the country and I understand different demographics. It helps me with what maybe God's calling for me is, because I have to deal with people. That's really my calling in whatever I do, and to be able to communicate with different groups of people,
and be able to relate. And
it's not a skill you get for free.
No,
you don't just you can't just sit with books and learn how to do that. Like you have to be in uncomfortable situations. You got to be in a situation where your back's against the wall. Like, I don't know what to do. Best put on my jeans and then we'll make this.
Where's the fire?
Where's the fire, man? I want them jeans with the fire. They're the ones. But that's what I wanted to say in essence. So everything I'm going to tell you, me being deaf, everything. 5 now I got ADHD. I had to go through it so I can actually understand people who have mental, not disabilities, who have mental differences, diverse mental neurotypicals and I'm learning about all of that now because I've realized, damn, this stuff is real. I would have been ignorant to somebody because you're
not alone.
Do you know what I mean? And I'm not alone.
Yeah.
I'm now meeting black guys who also discovered recently they got ADHD. So we're like, yo, man, It's crazy. Like, what's the guy, Trevor Noah, same stuff.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
his journey is like mine, because they kept telling my mom about anger management,
Yeah,
and I didn't even understand why I was being put there.
He won't sit still, just always
just like I'm
fidgeting.
always like.
And in young black men as well, they're not
Yeah.
going to put that down. to
Problem
that.
child.
Yeah,
Exactly.
you're a problem child. It's
You're a
in your
problem
genetic
child.
makeup that you're going to be violent
And it was
aggressive.
affecting me, because I was getting upset. I'm like, you're
course.
judging me. I'm not like that.
Yeah.
Because the thing about ADHD people, we love justice. Do you know what I mean? We're driven by just justice. So if you say like, you know, a
Yeah.
different way, it really affects you, because it's not what you are.
Yeah.
In your
And then you
corners,
start
you're not
questioning
trying to
it, yeah.
offend. Yeah. Maybe I might offend you just because
Humans
how I
just do that
work.
by
Yeah.
accident sometimes.
Well,
Like, it's just a thing that we do.
Yeah,
Or sometimes
exactly.
on purpose as
Yeah.
well.
And also individual trauma, like
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
I was called this was okay, blah blah blah. So
Yeah.
don't do that.
Yeah.
But like in essence, then, because you're quite multi-layered, if I may put it like that, how would you describe yourself? This is usually Kay's question, but like, how would you describe yourself in terms of, because you talk music, then
You wrote a
history,
bio
there's
about
quite
yourself.
yeah.
I'm a politician, football coach. Actually, I found what I am in December. I say when I've discovered I lost my hearing, that was the greatest thing ever. Because thank the NHS, because I found out in October, and I had my hearing aids in December, which is very rare.
Yeah.
And I had an MRI scan, so they just pushed me through. Like, they were so kind. And big up Mark, David, and them guys. They really helped me a lot. So when I discovered my hearing, I would say another thing, which is more spiritual, maybe you understand. But when I did my dad's tombstone, which I did in December, end of November, so that was the thing that was holding me back. I was having recurring dreams for like 3 years. I never understood them, and they stopped the day that I did my dad's tombstone. And I'll say, I'm a man now. When you lot met me, I was trying to be a man, you know, like growing up, like figuring myself out. Now I'm a man. I know who I am. I know what I'm supposed to do. I don't even have to ask people for a second opinion. Alchemist, you know, you waste a lot trying to get people's approval. I know what. That's why I went on TikTok. I was at a dream by. I woke up, set up a TikTok account. I'm 2 weeks in. I'm on 998 followers. I've made so much money on it than I've ever done. And it's just like everything is just going in line. And that's when I discovered I'm a historian. So if you ask me, what am I? I'm a historian. That's what I am. It's just what I don't know now is, am I a documenting historian? Or am I an archiving historian? Am I a writer in terms of historian? Am I a history teacher? I'd like to say I've been performing as a teacher, but a lot of people put in a lot of pressure on me to write, because like I said, we're human beings. So if I die, all of this history, because I can teach you, bro, and I teach
No,
you.
but also I feel like
Yeah.
that's the problem with our people, Southern Africans, is that,
Yeah.
or Africans maybe,
But mainly
because I
Southern African.
know more South African anyway, is the fact that not much history was actually written down. It's all just
Exactly.
word of mouth, and maybe certain subliminals are going to be left on the last names, but nothing was documented.
Exactly.
So you said you're writing a book.
Yeah, 2 books.
Okay.
I'm writing an autobiography. So it's just a way for me, because my life, guys, it's just so much stuff I've done. And I understand everything is for a reason. So I told everything. Me going deaf, I'm going to fight for people with disability rights. I understand what it's like generally to be impaired. So like everything, I died 3 times, I rose up, I set up political parties, I got arrested by Mugabe, bro, like I'm talking like everything. I sort of need to document it, because lest anything happen to me, but also I think you learn a lot just by reading.
When you're writing your autobiography, who are you writing it for? Do you have this process where you kind of write specifically as though, okay, my daughter's going to read this? Or do you write it just because I need to say this? And so you're almost... Because when you publish something, it goes to... You may have a thing in your mind where it's like, this is my audience, but it can be read by so many people. So maybe that pressure can be overwhelming when you're trying to write something. Do you write for specific...
And I think I write once every 6 months, because I've been taking a lot of stuff. So I'm not in a rush with it. It's just I don't want to start from scratch when I'm old and I would have forgotten some things.
So you're just
I'm
allowing
sort
this
of
to be a
documenting.
process, however long it takes, wherever.
And it's mainly, like you said, expression. But actually, you're hitting the nail on the head, because especially for my daughter, because I think my daughter would really, I'm a multi-layered person, very complicated, and I think my daughter sees me as a god, just like I saw my dad, like my god. My dad was so exemplary, so what a fantastic man. So like, she sees me as a god, so she will have many questions, and they'll all be there for her, and she will never have to ask anybody, because it took me years to find who I am, my history, and document all in my mind, all this history. She won't have to do none of that, because we will all be there. So yes, the person I want to dedicate that book to is my daughter.
It's one of those precious gifts you can give a child, you know. You just hear things about your parents, and I feel like when we grow up, you hear more things about your parents. You're like, I didn't know that.
I didn't know that.
I didn't know. Didn't we had this whole chapter of your life? So the fact that you're documenting it and starting now is amazing. I wonder how many autobiographies have just been left unfinished, never published, hidden away somewhere.
People wrote them.
Yeah. Start that now.
Yeah, one of my favorite political leaders, Dabengo, I worked with him with Zappo. They call him the Black Russian. He wanted to write his autobiography, and he died before even writing it. Do you know what I mean? And that's all he kept telling me. He said, I want to write my memoirs, and there's so much I need to say. And he died before doing it. So I thought, let me start early, whilst I'm also writing stuff for the world, which is the other book, just telling the Southern African story, especially the migration of people into Southern Africa. And I'm a Khoisan, so if you know, we know everything. I'm not being, it's because we have to, God must have created our mind like that. And ADHD is really a hunter-gatherer trait, if you look at it really. So like, we have
I've never
a
heard
good,
that before. That's
you
really
never
interesting.
there's a book called Hunter-Gatherers, ADHD for Hunter-Gatherers, and they say when you look at it, it comes from hunter-gatherers.
Wow.
So if you're a hunter-gatherers, most of you will all, my whole family, and finding out I had ADHD was the greatest gift, because I love my dad's side of the family. Sorry, mate, I love my dad's side of the family. They're the only people, when I'm with them, I feel like, wow. I can express myself. I can say F you. I can smoke here. My auntie will come and sit smoke with me. It's just like we cry together. You know, I'm telling you, I was crying in Cuba. It's very strange. But when I'm with my family, everybody's just crying.
Everyone's just comfortable.
It's just like,
so
and it's weird. And it's because we all have, I realize, ADHD. All of us. And we grew up thinking, Uncle is mad, he does these mad things. And the thing is, we like that mad stuff. So if you do something mad, they go, he's crazy. He used to dance, jump on the roof and start screaming, and everyone say, calm down, give him a joint, put him down, and then we smoke a joint and calm down.
But really,
it's his ADHD. But we didn't realize it. We just thought it was cool being like that. We're so different from
like
people.
It's just so free spirit. It does what he wants.
It does what he wants, man. He can come in and kick off. You just tell him calm down.
Based on everything you just said, you're using ADHD as the superpower, which in I can only go off what I know from Western societies. If ADHD is even sniffed at in a child, you try and quash that.
Oh yeah, try tame it. Here's some drugs.
Maybe here's some medication. Here's ways of processing it. Don't give them too much information at once, because they'll have an overload and they'll have all of this. Like, give them all the you were in an environment where it was like, actually, we're gonna own it, we're gonna harness it, and like this is totally,
let's enjoy it.
It's totally normalized. If anything, like the framing of ADHD being like a medical issue and problem is the problem. It's just like humans, we have different ways of functioning, different brains. We're just all forced to work in the same way, with the same routine and the same this, and it doesn't suit. It doesn't suit at all. So this person's not a problem. This person's just maybe not supposed to be here in this work a 9-5, and try and get your proteins and try and get maybe that's not for.
And my people fought the war of rebellion, because that's what there's a video I watched once, and I swear to God, I started crying, because the guy started crying and he was like, they forced me to wake up and go and work in the fields every morning. And I tell him, I don't want to work every morning, and he'll wake me up, because we like our freedom. So like when you put us on a 9 to 5, I cried because I understood. For my people, it's like, wow, you've caged me. It's like similar to prison for no reason.
So I can't do what I want.
I can't do what I want. I can't go and see the light, because we follow animals. We just want to walk. And I was talking about being a Khoisan with the memory, because we know all the plants. Do you get what I'm saying? So our brain is wired. We need to remember everything. And that's what made me very, I think I remember so much history. I remember so much information, because usually I would be using that brain part to remember
also
plants.
that's how you make connections.
Connections with things, because that's what all it is. We remember it because we pass it on to our kids, and they pass it on because we basically survive. And it's like one plant, if you mix just too much, it could be poisonous. So you need to remember all of that, and it's a way of us preserving. And you said Southern African history. You didn't say African history is not documented. You're right, and it's because the west of Africa and east of Africa encountered Muslims who taught them the way to write, to write, whereas our people didn't have a writing system.
Maybe we may draw a thing like
there I'm going.
Yeah,
it was my people who were doing that. Yeah, exactly.
Like drawing
in the caves, because when we were traveling and it's cold and it's raining, we sit in the caves, and then that's our movie. Then the older lady would say, "Can you see? This is where the people came, and then they came and they killed us." It's like a whole history, because that's what it was.
Pretty much a story.
You know, so thanks, guys. You made me really comfortable, man. I was really.
You are wildly fascinating. Fascinating human.
That's why I've been saying, let's have conversations.
Yeah. This is an amazing conversation.
Thank you, guys.
And like, I feel like you're able to like recall it really well. I have a hard time. If someone was to ask me some of the questions we've asked you, I feel like I'd have a much harder time being like, we kind of go back. How did I get into this? You know? But I feel like you said it, like you know yourself, which means that in terms of conversation, like you don't even have to. There's no second guessing. You haven't second guessed yourself.
No, never.
Once in this conversation,
and
which is amazing.
You can ring me at 1 a.m. in the morning and ask me something. I'll give you the answer. It's this. Just leave me alone.
I'm going back to sleep now.
Yeah. That's what people always do with me. You know what I mean? But
So, like, since finding out about your hearing, have you gone back to music then, making music again?
Yes, it's just because like the first time you're using them, it's like they sound very tinny. And like you have to go through like 3 consultations every 6 weeks to see how's your hearing, and then it's like
it's like that adjusting.
Yeah.
Is it too loud for your eardrums? Is it too low?
Is it too low? Do we need to lift more? Because what I actually lost was my high ends, and that's where the problem was with Sabs, with Yolanda, because they were coming to record vocals in my studio, and I can't miss the vocals because that's where the high ends are. But you've been to me when it comes to bass line stuff. I'm crazy with it because I could sort of hear the lows, but the balance mids, I lost them all completely. I had a chart of it, and it's just crazy how much I lost just on this right side. So I did the first time I went there, I didn't like what I was hearing. So I had a recent consultation in January where they just had a look. They upped me. I like where I'm at right now. I think I'm ready to be got to level 3, mate, because that's the highest level. So I've been producing and I spent some time. It's just, again, I wasn't sure what I'm hearing. Is it what everybody else is hearing? That's my
so it brings us to be like the doubt as well. It's like you actually not even seeing my best form.
Exactly. I'm not even sure it's not my best form, you know what I'm saying? It's crazy. So how I'm dealing with it, there's a kid called Toby Lee, so from time to time he comes and he will cross-reference and go, I'll call you on the right direction. But I need time, and that's what I'm trying to tell everybody. Sometimes working with musicians, they want their stuff there. So with most of them, I go, come and get your vocals, take it whatever you want, just leave me alone. It's part of thing I learned the most last year, boundaries, and also learning that don't just take on too much, because you will suffer. I'm a people pleaser by nature. I just want everybody to be happy. So even if it means I'm sleeping at 3 o'clock in the morning, I'll do that for you. I don't mind it. You know what I mean? So like, I've sort of learned now this year that no, man, if this gets too much, just tell me I can't do it. Can you please give me some time? So with the music thing, I'm taking it slowly. Imagine I had to go back and apologize to all the musicians first. Unfinished tracks, then I had to go in because I sent so much music to these producers, and I thought it was dope, and they never sent it back, and I know why, you know what I mean, because I can hear it now. So I was like, I can't believe I sent that. I swear down.
What was that? Because I know we're like chuckling at it, but that, looking back at that, must be.
Bro,
that's a lot to deal with.
And I'm like going to the guy like, yo, I'm dope, man. Like, listen, hear this shit, yo.
Because it's almost embarrassing, but like you, I know that you would have maybe felt those emotions, but it's so unfair to yourself that you would have put that on yourself, because this is just something that you learned.
I just found out recently.
This is what I mean. It's like I sent all this stuff out. It sounded great to me.
Like big confidence. And I spent like. Bro, how much electric I've been running. I spent 3 nights not sleeping, working on that track before I send it, because I'm trying to make sure it's the best.
But within that, like I do you not feel like if you flip it, there's a really good opportunity for conversation there? Just about, so instead of being like, oh, I'm apologizing to these people, instead it's like, nah, I'm just going to explain what my situation was and how wild the situation was. But now I'm kind of like, this is where I'm at in the process. I'm getting my hearing aids to the point where I can like hear better. Maybe your process will change where you need to like listen to music different, feel it differently, like that kind of stuff. And like, I'll be back. It's just an intermission, isn't it?
And genuinely, that's what it was. A lot of people felt sorry for me. And it's like, I always go through this thing, I feel sorry for myself. It's the one thing that makes me feel it, because I'll think, wow, man, like I wasted so much money and I lost so much money and so much time, and I was so confused about so many things, and it was just because I lost my hearing. And I just went to my doctor about something else, and I just said to the lady, I keep getting this hearing, this thing, and people telling me I got tinnitus. So whilst we're doing this, can we just have a look? And it went just from that to, yo, we need to book you in ASAP. And then it's like, yo, we need to do an MRI. We need to see maybe your nerve, your cochlea is trapped, or maybe you got something in your skull. And nothing, they couldn't find nothing. It just, how I found out was going through all my beats, and I realized from the moment I crashed the car, everything I made after that was bad quality. I was a dope producer. For me, I should be, right now, I should be 10 albums deep because of how much my work ethic is. Like, I should be 10 albums deep, I should be so far away, but it just held me back because I couldn't hear. But I'm not feeling bad, and I'm not even feeling sad about it. It's like, wow, I learned so much. I can't even, I'll take too long if I had to explain what I learned just from that period of time. And
you'll carry that forwards, like this in the grand scheme of your life. And how long, like your introduction to music was like such a long time ago, and since then all you've been doing is growing, and this is just another thing where it's like, maybe you just need this lesson too. I don't know what it is. I don't know what that's for, but like you'll get back. And even actually, fuck that. You will go forwards. You're not going to go back to where you were. You're going to go to this new place.
It's gonna be better.
Yeah, exactly.
Are you excited to make music again though?
Yeah.
Since
And once I get my hearing on the third point, I really am. It's just I'm the doubting things. So sometimes I'll work on a song and I'm like, did I just ruin it? It's always I produce and then it's like, I don't want to ruin it anymore. So I've got a lot of safe projects where like I just leave it there, and it doesn't finish the music because I'm not sure about the finished product. But yeah, man, I'm really excited. Like, a lot of people think I've left music, but no, I've not. It's just, I need this break, I need this time, and it's going to be good for me because the quality of music I'm going to release going forward, it's going to be dope. And it's not like I got no songs. We got loads of songs. It's just, I need to have the confidence to just say, finish this one off.
To be fair, the Marker Plan, you produced it. Remember the video that dropped on Savage thing recently?
Oh, really?
I produced like death. So imagine what I'm hearing. Exactly, that's what I'm saying.
It's a bop though? Yeah. Oh, I understand the heights we're talking about right now. Okay. We're talking about, that was when I was making bad music. Oh, okay.
Yeah, and that's like to me, it's like
exactly.
Yeah.
That's the point that I'm making.
That was the bad music.
Yeah, innit?
Because I was vibing. Honestly, like they were making the songs that you know what? I have an idea for a video. We're just gonna do a studio session video.
Straight up.
And it was such a vibe. And so okay, I'm excited to hear it. I'm glad you making music again.
Yeah, slowly but surely. So this year I'm sort of like just focus on the history stuff because that's very important and I can't run away from it because now I know that's my calling. Yeah. But all the other things I do, I ain't got a problem with them. It's not like leave them. No, I realized something. People will have the same calling because I met 3 other people who are exactly like me. We all double with religion. We are mainly historians, but we double with religion and music. And the music is the cultural side of keeping that language. Music, and keeping it going. It's spiritual, it's a way of communicating with people, but mainly it's because even the people that I've met that like the music or are into music, they like old music and they are recreating in a new way. So in theaters, and that was the thing with my Amapiano. Always used to people say you're playing Khoisan piano, Botswana piano. What piano is this? Because sometimes I really like that old feel and just put it on my piano. You know what I mean? So it's sort of like we in Zulu say ukulondoloza umlando. We're keeping the tradition going or the history going through music and the culture going through music. That's why we're in the religion thing is everything we do it's God who gave us this calling in the first place. Number two, we must remember we're not doing it for bad. Everything's for good.
Yeah.
So we all go through different religions. Whether you go Muslim, you go Christian, or you go African spirituality religion, we all do, because you need to learn a lot from there, because religion teaches you discipline, to love people, to look after people. So my hoodness of growing up in London was taken away by going into religion. And then I became a Christian for like 4 years, and I loved God. That's when I learned to love people. That's what took me to revolution, because then I said, I always used to say Jesus was the greatest revolutionary, because the Jesus that I was taught in church, when I started reading the Bible, was a different Jesus. Man, he was chilling with prostitutes. He was born in the hood, and nobody even liked him because they thought, who the heck is this guy, bro? He's weird. Man, who's this guy? He's weird, bro. But he was different, man. So I learned a lot from that. I learned compassion from going to church. Maybe I have some of the fruits of the spirit, you know, patience. I learned some of that stuff from going to church. So it was very good for me. But essentially, we're just historians.
Because it is one of the oldest books anyway.
Yeah, exactly. So if you want to know history, go back first to the Bible or the Judaism. We read the book of Joshua. All of them, when we meet, we all know the same stuff. And that's how we know we're in the same calling. Because when I meet, I'm like, yo, did you know this? It's like the Shaka Zulu thing. They say Shaka Zulu never had a son, but the people I know are true historians. We all know who Shaka Zulu's son is. We go, yeah, he did have a son. Yeah. It was King Echwa. That's a story for another day. It's because he was scared people were going to kill all his kids. So
because there was rumors, but no one ever actually fully confirmed.
In the movie, he was killing his kids, right? That's what he was doing. But no, he every time he got specific girls pregnant, and then he gave them to his little brother, because his other brothers were ambitious, but Mbande wasn't. Apparently, he was a very calm, and he liked Shaga a lot. So then Shaga, every time he got one girl pregnant from a good house, we're talking of houses, the Butelezis and these Shubi houses, he would take her and marry her off to his brother, and say, marry her, because he knows he's got her pregnant, and say, you marry her, and you raise these kids as yours, and you hide them underneath. And
also it means they're protected for anyone who wants to get a child.
Yeah, exactly. So they all, it's like it was, and it helped him so that people are not chasing him with his heirs, because that was the war. He was taking other people's heirs, so he just hid with all his heirs with his brother. He had 3 kids, and the other one was King Tetrayo, who then became the king when he was older, because he started troubling Bande, because he was like, yo, man, I want the throne now. You was regent, you was king regent, man. Give me what's mine.
Interesting,
What does your day-to-day do you know how you're saying you're teaching it?
Yeah.
Who are you teaching, and what's the what does that side of things look like? Because it's obviously like the personal side of history that you're like in a constant state of investigation and exploration, and like just trying to uncover something and something which makes sense to the political side too. But like on a day-to-day, how do you teach people? Like what form do you teach people in?
Before I got like 9 hours of footage of history on YouTube. So I used to teach 4 hours on Facebook. So I had a good following on Facebook. Then I took a break, started producing, and all my history lovers were so disappointed. I met them last week, and they were like, man, when you went to my piano, we said, what happened to this guy? He's fallen from grace. Yeah, they said I've fallen from grace, mate. They were so happy to see me and to find out I'm on TikTok teaching history. They were like, mate, what happened to you? I'm like, man, I needed that break. I needed to go jive, or wanted to go have a good time with people my age, because when you're doing history, I'm always with old people every time. So I was like, yo, I needed to get drunk a bit. I needed to shake the leg. Genuinely, that's what I told them. I just needed to chill a little bit. It was very important that I went through that phase, because I started this thing when I was 17. So like I've lost a lot of my childhood. 19 politics I started. So it's like all my youth was gone, just traveling, doing stuff, not doing what of my peers were doing, you know what I mean? My money was being invested in political stuff, paying for school fees for kids and stuff like that. So it was crazy. So like, I went off and did a bit, but now I'm back on TikTok. So I teach on TikTok now. And I'm sort of growing the following, because I need 1,000 subscribers or something to start hosting. But I met really good people on TikTok. I build communities everywhere I go, and the problem is I don't, as a koi son,
then
ADHD, piss out. I'm done here. I've got new friends now, you know what I mean? And that's why they were angry, because I never was chatting to them history people. I'm like, yo, don't ring me, man. I'm with these piano guys, because it's out of mind, out of sight, out of sight, out of mind. So yeah, man. So I got a new community that I'm really like, and I'm always lucky. It's always women, like older women. They just always protect me. And they give me their platform, so I'm teaching off a space at the moment. So yeah, that's what I'm teaching at the moment. I teach predominantly Southern African history. That's what I'm doing at the moment. Yeah, I'm not really seeing where this journey is going. So maybe when we have an interview in a year's time, I'll tell you where we are. But that's where the
I'd like an interview with you in like 2 weeks' time to see where you've gone. Like, I'm off the history now.
I'm back again. I'm on the piano.
What do you think of social media as a space to educate people? Because social media is one of those spaces, especially TikTok, where it's like people get lost in it. We hear a lot of talk about doom scrolling, like all that kind of stuff. How do you think that kind of like suits a lot of your like personal ethics with being like housed in TikTok? Do you think it works? Do you think it's the right space?
I'm really happy with it.
Cool.
Yeah, because you cleaned up your Instagram, because I went on it like, whoa, what happened? It's like
nothing.
Yeah.
Because I have social anxiety sometimes, so when people start knowing me too much, I just run away.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like, always do it like, bam, I'm a coincide, so you know it. Like, when we see people, they'll be like, I'm moving, I'm going. So it's like, I just run away, and it doesn't bode well with me doing things on social media, because I don't constantly update. I could be gone for 3 weeks, and then I'll pop up like, and you know,
where was I?
where was I? And most people usually they want content on a regular basis, and I'm not that type of person. It's like I need to go and study for like a month, take all it in, and I can come back. So I get uncomfortable, but to be honest, I'm so glad for these spaces, because on Facebook I changed a lot of people's lives, but people didn't know like their families by teaching surnames. I started teaching languages to kids. It's in their belly from Facebook, because there was a need for it. So I built a strong community there, like incredible community there, like so many strong links, bro. That is crazy. Then now I'm on TikTok, and I realized, damn, TikTok is better than Facebook, because when I get paid when I talk. And number two, it's like, this is politically, this is why they wanted to ban it from America, because this thing is bigger than every spaces that I've ever been. And for people from my country, TikTok, I can't believe, like, they're in the villages and they're on TikTok. Everything I want to see is on TikTok. Everything I wanted to, my research.
People use TikTok as a resource. I remember being in Barcelona with Law, and he was like, oh, I'd never been here before, I need a barbershop. Let me go to TikTok and see if there's one nearby. I'd never seen that before. So I was like, right, people are looking for things, finding things here. Okay.
It's crazy. So I'm learning languages. I've been looking for this Damara tribe from Namibia. I found them today. And like, I've been like chatting to them. I know, ASI. That's how you say hello, apparently. Okay. They told me that, ASI. Yeah, they told me that today. Yeah. So like, I'm just like, mingling with communities that I would have never
so
found
you're using it right
else.
You're one of the few people that are using this tool right.
I got friends, man. I got friends in Botswana, and I'm learning their history, and I'm constantly quizzing them, because I'm just inquisitive. So I'm like, so do you guys still speak this language now? Right, okay. So it's a lot, but it's good, because I think I would teach better on TikTok than I would have had on Facebook, especially for creating content. Because sometimes when I'm on Facebook, I want to show you the map, because I'm a visual learner, and I struggle with that when you're on such platforms. But TikTok is very good; it's user friendly. Just getting used to it. You know what I mean? I'm not one of them who says ban social media. I think we should just teach our kids how to use it, and us to discipline ourselves. Because you get addicted. You can get addicted to anything. Do you know what I mean?
We're in this weird void of time where like we didn't have it as children, so we were never taught how to use it at all. Whereas kids now, they hear phrases like screen time, and they hear things about like, you know, being safe online, predators online. This we were just sort of like, our parents didn't know what it was.
Like, they don't know what
we just had the whole thing, and it was like,
It
you
was
can
all
go
about
anywhere you want.
And still to this day, no one taught us how to use it. We're just figuring it out. So if we can take responsibility, it means we can teach the youth how to use it, and like, do you know what I mean? Instead of saying you shouldn't be on your phone, it's like, no,
and have a healthy way of interacting with it,
because it's not going anywhere. So yeah, it's really nice to hear that.
It's really cool.
It's like a TikTok success story that I never hear. I just so associate TikTok with like, danger zone.
Nah,
really
man,
cool.
I really love it, because I'm reaching audiences that I would have never dreamt of. Like, never, even on Facebook, I would have never reached them. I was really active on Facebook, man. Like, my videos will have like 500 people watching at a time, but I've not tried TikTok now. I'm still on the 50s, but the people that I reach, it's amazing. And for me as a historian, it's good because I meet other historians there, and yeah, man, it's a great platform.
It's a nice community.
It's a nice community as well. It's just, you got to learn to limit yourself. It's something that I'm getting addicted because I always have my hearing aids, innit? So like, I just turn on TikTok Live, put it there, and I'm listening to it every day. And when I get bored of the conversation, next one.
Oh, is it Bluetooth connected?
Yeah, because it's all Bluetooth.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
the hearing aid is like, I'm always listening to people's conversations. You know what I mean? But yeah, man, it's nice. Yeah.
Okay, like, should we do music?
Yeah.
Even though we did touch on music.
I would like to be for like another 4 hours, but we'll be responsible. We'll be responsible with the content
With
we
the
produce.
But yeah, what's your track of the week, track of the day? The track that's been resonating, or the track that popped into your head when I asked that question.
Right. Before I say that, can I just plug something else?
Oh yeah, please, yeah.
Just quickly on the history, because we're not going to come back to it. There's a game called Crusader Kings 3. Have you ever heard of it? Man, my cousin got me a PlayStation, and then my best friend Zeti bought me this game, and he was like, I know you're a historian. You said, now you found yourself. Here, play. I'm so addicted to that game. I play that game like sometimes 6 hours a day.
Yeah.
I swear to God.
Is it like Skyrim, if you've played Skyrim?
No, it's what I, as a kid, now the history, but as a kid I always wanted them globe things, what they're called, Atlas.
Yeah.
I begged my mom for Atlas as I was a kid because I just like to know where is what. So now this game is just a map of the world, and like you just play on that map, and it's from 867, what I was talking about, when the Vikings came, the sons of Ragnar, the English invasion, and then it goes on till 1436, or the fourth stage of the medieval times when it ends. But guys,
So you can choose what time.
What's it called?
it's called Crusader Kings 3. You can
Kings.
choose what timeline, but listen, you can play in Africa. It's got African history. You can play in
that's
Mecca,
really
in
cool.
Jerusalem.
That's actually dope. Imagine GTA like that.
Yeah.
It is insane, and it's historically, let's say 95% historically accurate. Like, it's
that's good,
crazy.
yeah. So it's
you
not
see William
racist,
the Conqueror
yeah.
come and everything. So you understand the wars of the Crusades, why the Pope was so important, blah, 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 blah. It's really helped my knowledge of history.
That's amazing.
Is gone. And
Yeah, in your bag and
man, I love that game. But yeah, that's just a quick plug, man. That game's amazing. Yeah, but on the
You're
music,
using things differently, innit? You're using games differently, you're using social media differently.
Yeah, it's a different outlook.
You're not
of it,
wasting your time on the phone.
no.
Nice.
If even when I'm gaming, man, I'm learning.
That's what I mean.
Like, I play that game. I'm not lying. I can't play that game without my
Pause.
phone.
No.
Yeah. I swear,
just pause it real
exactly.
quick.
That's what
What does it say?
What does it say? Who was
We
that?
find
Who
someone
was-
on TikTok who would know.
Yeah, I swear, that's how I play it. I'm always on my phone. I have to Google.
really
Like,
cool.
who is Dawda? Oh, the Dawda king. Oh, the houses come from this princess who couldn't kill the snake, so they couldn't draw the water. Then this Asian guy came from Afghanistan, who Papayajida, who then married her and slayed the snake. It's true story. And then this is how the houses came, and it's like, oh snap, it's in the game. I can see him because I'm a visual learner, and all the kids make the sense. And like, now I'm changing my own version of history. Like,
That's cool. That's really, really
it's
cool.
insane.
It sounds dope, to be fair.
It's
It sounds dope.
insane.
Yeah.
People just plug their own stuff, and that's also totally
Yeah.
fine. You're like, I've been playing the game. Historical
You
learning
gamers,
game.
get the game, man. You learn a lot because
Nice.
you can play anywhere. You could be Genghis Khan. You could be anywhere. Yeah, but you have to wait, obviously, for
That's
the
actually
time. Man.
dope.
Yeah, it's crazy,
It's
man.
dope to know there's games like that. Like,
No.
they never, like, it's just Call of Duty. It's just like,
Yeah. But the
Pardon
same
me, I don't know why I did
creators
that.
created another one called Victoria 2, right? But it's not on PlayStation, it's on the thing. And I'm not plugging this one, I've only seen it, but just out of it, it's got the Zulu Empire, and it's got
dope.
King Mzilikazi,
Yeah.
Shaka Zulu,
Yeah.
that whole conflict, but it's based in 1800s, so it's
Yeah.
1800s till 1900. I've never played it, but I just, it's the history side of it, it's just crazy.
actually,
man.
like, it sounds quite dope, actually.
But my favorite song of the year is called
That's where we were.
Yeah. Come on, I don't get lost, man. You know what I mean? It's all there. I go back and I come back. But no, it's this song. You all know it, man. And do you know what? The funny story is, I like it when it doesn't have the speakers on, and I think it's because I heard it wrong with my hearing.
Oh, shit.
So every time when I put it on the speakers,
Yeah.
I hate it. I'm like, oh, it sounds a bit different.
It's like when
Yeah.
you hear a track, but you heard the remix version,
Yeah.
and when someone
Yes,
plays the original,
yeah.
like,
Yeah, you're like,
Oh, they ruined it.
They ruined it. There's like, no, that's the original. It's like,
oh,
yeah, it's called Amen Amen by Tembala, the vocalist. I just found it one day.
Yeah.
I was playing these games because I checked my Spotify and it said most listened songs of the year, Viking, ancestral, spiritual music. But it's because I was playing that game. It's either the Brawlers, but I was on Spotify playing, and it's before I found out I was there. So my neighbor must have been thinking, what kind of
what's he
ritual
going
is this
through?
guy
Like,
doing?
yeah.
Till 4 a.m. because he's been playing for 6 hours on repeat.
Like you vibing with
And I'm on the ship going, yeah, let's raid.
it's right.
Yeah, so that was my Spotify. But even this one, this Amen song, it was when I doing my dad's tombstone. So I was now playing as an African lord, trying to do Mansa Moses run, sort of like in Mali with the
richest
gold
people,
mines. Yeah, and I realized that's how he was rich, because them gold mines are coughing up gold. So I was trying to play that, then I just put on a random playlist and my song came on and it was during when I was doing my dad's tombstone.
Yeah.
I think I just connected it with it spiritually. It gave me a lot of encouragement because everything I do, I'm happy. By the way, thank you for this, because I don't talk like this. I feel I'm always cutting myself up because I'm talking too much. But I'm really glad because everything is working very well for me this year. Like I'm in a good space.
It's really cool.
You know what I mean? But at that time, usually sometimes I have forces against me because maybe they don't understand what I'm trying to do. But even when I was doing my dad's tombstone, it was the most challenging thing. I had to fast for like 3 days, and I don't do that. But it was so challenging because my family was against it. My mom was, everyone. It was, I did it by myself, bro, like from everything. But it was so important because that was my breakthrough. And I had a dream about it, and it said, you need to do your dad's tombstone, and I did it. But when I was going through that period, I was really, really low in my spirit, and that song really helped me a lot. And then that's when I discovered I was deaf. And everything.
like a lot of
Rest is
things
history
unfolded.
until I played it on the big speakers, and I was like, this song is so horrible. What's these drums? I never heard them before. I'm like, whoa. Yeah, so yeah, you guys might not like it. I heard it deaf, so maybe I need to take off my hearing aids every time I listen to it.
The producer and maker of that track, like I loved your song when I was deaf.
Yeah,
Imagine,
I hear it back and
it was so
trash.
amazing.
like, now it's trash.
I heard it properly. I was
Thanks,
like, ooh.
though.
Yeah, I don't play it in the car. You know what I mean? But yeah, that's my song.
Nice.
But no, that must have been challenging. Even listening to music, like even your favorite artists, you're like, yo, they don't sound right.
I know.
I'm so
I stopped liking Zanese and DJ Beezer because I started telling people they changed their sound.
That's so funny.
Sorry,
Yeah, I'm just thinking.
Zanese especially. I stopped listening because I was like, why they change the sound
And
for?
people like not change the sound, and you're like, you're just not in tune.
Yeah. You
you
lot
know,
don't
you
understand.
know.
I'm a piano, bro. Me, I can hear it.
You're lost
They changed it, yeah. And I was the deaf one, so
Yeah. What's yours?
Your memory's so good and
plug
mine's so trash that I'm just gonna get this name right. I've listened to a lot of jazz recently. Actually, I just need chaos notes and beats because it's really
Is that the name of the song?
no. Sorry. I like usually I have an issue with jazz because things are just placed wherever, and like it's frustrating for me because I love the idea that things are just like organically structured, but to the point where like they can hear what they want to hear as like a collective group of musicians. But sometimes like I don't know why it doesn't resonate with me. Recently, this start of the year, it's all I want to listen to. I don't want to hear your words. I don't want to hear the stories. I just want to hear the music and see what they
Just
did
want to
with
feel
it. Yeah.
your expression.
But I went on this crazy tangent of jazz music and night and day, and how so there's an artist called Art Tatum, and there's a track called Night and Day. But like every time it's been released, it's different.
Okay.
So there's like
And
so
what's-
many
what's
versions
the
of
one
Night and
that
Day.
you-
It's just Night and Day live. Like that's what I've been listening to on
Is it
Spotify.
volume?
Nah, it's just It's Art Tatum Night and Day live. And I've kind of been like YouTubing it, and so many jazz performers have produced a track that's called Night and Day.
Yeah.
It's been sampled by so many people. And like if you go on Spotify and you just type in Night and Day and you listen to like the majority of the tracks in there, you hear the Art Tatum take on it and how people have resonated with it, and they've used it in different ways. So the first time I heard it, I was like, I know this from like a track that came out in 2023 by this like group of like white artists and performers.
Like,
and it was
I know
like a
that
totally
song.
different song. So yeah, Art Tatum at the minute.
Okay.
Why do you think they did like so many? I'm just so.
I don't know. It's very
What's
like
special about that song?
I don't know. I don't know if it's like the name of the song, the fact that the track does feel quite night and day, and night and day being like two opposites that need each other. I feel like that is the track. It sums the track up.
Yeah.
It's like two halves. It's almost like three. It goes like night, day, night again, and it feels like every part needs every part, and there's no elements in that track that I feel like don't sit right. I think everything it just does something to the brain where it just massages knots out of it.
It must have been a composition masterpiece.
Yeah,
Like
it's incredible. I'd never really heard it before,
Yeah.
and I just stumbled across it. And I was like, "What am I listening to?" Do you know when you have something just playing? There's just music playing, and then you're just doing work, or
Just
you're just
like,
doing
ooh,
something,
ooh,
and then
that-
something just that happened to that track, and it's
Well, that's
incredible.
nice.
So yeah,
I'm really gonna check it out.
it's
as
really
well.
cool.
Wow.
Really,
Actually, we
really
do
cool.
have a playlist, WAWNRT playlist. Yeah, I think we need to do year 2.
Can't
or
tell
year
you how
3.
updated it is, but it's close to being as updated as possible.
Okay.
Yeah, it's almost updated.
What about
What
you?
about
man?
you?
For me, so Capricorn, I want to go into Mac Miller. I always listen to Mac Miller. So Mac Miller dropped an album on the 17th. So that's
Of
been
Jan?
of January, yeah, because he was a Capricorn as well. But
Oh, wow.
yeah, so I've been listening. Yeah, dude, it became kind of a ritual to a point that I was listening to Mac Miller almost every year on my birthday, just because I feel like his music resonates some different.
Wow.
So yeah, on this one, weirdly enough, my track of the week. Actually, I have 2, but I'll say the first one. First one is "Do You Have a Destination?" It's from the new album. That song just hits different. And do you have a destination? I feel like that's sort of a good question, even just for yourself. It's like where you actually going.
Where you
If you're
going.
going somewhere, where you going? Do you have a destination? Yeah. So that's that one. Resonated because
I never really listened to him, but I'm making notes.
Oh man, he's one of them. And then J. Cole also dropped an album.
Oh, we had this conversation, dude.
So I guess we can cut it
Leading
here. But J. Cole dropped an extended version of is it for eyes only, or is it, anyways, yeah, extended album of his album that came out in 2014. But don't judge him. Don't judge. See. I feel like this is not a safe space to discuss my J. Cole.
love, innit? You know what I mean?
Yeah. But anyways, I'm just going to say Keep Heaven Dancing, because that song's just a vibe. That's the name of it, Keep Heaven Dancing.
Keep having
Keep
dancing.
having dancing.
Heaven.
Keep heaven dancing.
Yeah.
Oh, keep heaven dancing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so yeah, it's a dope track. I vibe to it, and yeah, that's all I can say. Because now I feel weird because I'm just talking about J. Cole, and I don't think he's welcome
that's
here.
good. That's-
Well,
no. He is.
I'll let you play it in the car on the way back home.
Yeah.
That's-
Oh man.
Take it out. Yeah.
see, all right, no, yeah.
Take it with you.
Yeah.
The podcast started with J. Cole, and then everything went haywire. We didn't do housekeeping. We didn't do
Jermaine, if
nothing.
you ever watch this, like, it's just in jest. It's just a joke. Imagine if you
joke.
did watch this. It would be enemy number one.
He'll make a song about
so
you.
many jabs.
Yo, I didn't say nothing. I said
Exactly.
I don't know if that's like a good thing. Like, Jermaine dropped a diss track about me.
Yeah, that would be.
That'd be
See,
dope,
now you're happy.
There you go.
Anyways, yo,
Win-win.
it's losing composure. But that said, thank you for joining us, and Cakes, my brother.
Thanks, my
Thanks
bro.
for pulling up, man.
Thanks,
Much
man.
appreciated, man.
It's all love. Come on, we got to do the South African stuff. We do it this time. Come
Oh,
on.
I see. I'm just muck with it.
There we go. It's
Oh,
like Jamaicans do it. Yeah.
Yeah, your thumbs are used
Yeah,
to
they
it.
I'm okay.
Fine.
I'm just a hooker, man. Just hook me in it. I don't like
Yeah.
yeah.
But yo, thanks for tuning in, and until next time, peace, love, and wisdom. We
So
are
UK and us. Thank you, guys.
100, man. Thank you for joining us, man.
Can I get up now?
That was good.
Ah, yes, you may. Yes.
Yes, you may.
Let us smoke.
Yeah.
You take